Hello everybody, this is TryMware412 taking a look at the game Art of War 3, which I played on webdiplomacy.net. I played as Italy, and those of you who have seen most of my other videos know I do not have very good luck as Italy, I never have, so I was not terribly excited about getting that country, but we will take a look and see how it worked out for me this time. My plan from the beginning was, of course, to take Tunis, and then I wanted to move through taking Austria, the Balkans, and Turkey, which would give me 14, and then I would either move up into Russia, or if I thought it would be better for me, I would move west into France and the territories near there to get my 18. So pretty much a Mediterranean dominance kind of idea what I was going for. We will take a look and see how that worked out for me. Alright, right off the bat I did what most Italian players do, I think. I tried to work out a demilitarized zone alliance with France in which the two of us would stay out of Piedmont, Lyon, Western Med, and North Africa, this little strip here. And also a deal with Austria because we have the two home supply centers that border right here. An agreement of non-aggression. I pushed in 1901 to get two builds, so I took Tunis here, you see, and then I stabbed Austria right away and took Trieste. That really upset him, obviously, and so you'll see after I get my builds here that he starts to move backwards towards me starting in the next year. I tried to get a foothold in Albania, thought maybe he wouldn't see it coming, but he does, and he blocks me out. And that means I am in danger of losing, and in fact do lose, Trieste in the following fall. This, however, since I knew I was going to lose it, I told him essentially that I would give it up to him, and that, you know, all's fair that ends well kind of thing. You know, he takes Trieste and he's back where he was, and he's none the worse for wear, so we could be friends again, which he actually agrees to. And I shift positions down here, you see, to favor the Lepanto attack on Turkey. This still works within the framework of my original plan because Turkey was one of the nations I meant to attack. So I thought from this point I could just take Turkey and then collapse on Austria later. 1903, see the Lepanto goes well. I get an army over here into Syria and then am able to attack Smyrna here in the fall, and also get support here from Austria into the Aegean. Bad year for Turkey. He actually ends up, of his 4 units, he has to retreat with 3 of them. So that's pretty rough for him. You also notice this year that France builds a fleet here in Marseille. If he wanted to build a fleet to fight against England or Germany, he would have built it in Brest, so that's pretty threatening towards me. But I contacted him and said, you know, we never agreed you wouldn't build fleets there, and so long as you don't move it into our DMZ, I don't have a problem with you. He was actually pretty surprised by that, and so he doesn't end up moving that fleet, and he actually leaves it there for quite some time, which is good for me. I couldn't afford a war with France because in 1904 Austria decides to attack me. So you see him moving here into Tyrolia. He does some stuff down here to halt my advances, to mess with me, and was set up in the fall to take Venice, although he misorders. Instead of ordering Trieste to Venice, he accidentally orders it to Tyrolia, which is kind of a mess up on his part. Bought me a little extra time, but not enough. So I start falling back. Here you'll see in 05, giving up on Turkey altogether, hoping to be able to hold on to my home centers for a little longer, trying to convince Russia to attack Austria, but that doesn't happen. And so I have to retreat out of Venice in the spring, and in the fall you see France decides Italy's getting weakened, I may as well try to grab a piece of that, and so he breaches our demilitarized zone. So in 1906 I end up making a survival pact, I guess you could call it, with Austria. He says that he will allow me to convoy an army to Tunis, which he will let me leave there until the end of the game. If you've seen my other Italy videos, you're familiar with this because it seems like that's always how my games as Italy end, which is very frustrating. So you see in 06 I do move that army down to Tunis, convoyed across, and I stay there. The rest of my territories get kind of mowed through. I retreat in a way that allows Austria to get the upper hand here against France. So even though France grabs a couple of my home centers, Austria does end up taking them from him. And surprisingly, Austria does stand by our agreement here. You see in the fall of 08, for instance, France orders a support in an attack against me in Tunis, which Austria was aware of, but he doesn't take it. You'll see again as the years progress. We'll go to the fall of 09. You see England and France working against me, but Austria supports me. So not only does he not act aggressively against me, but he acts in my defense, which was pretty surprising but good at the same time. He continues to make great gains and continues to defend me in Tunis. You can see. And then in the fall of 11, you'll see again, let's get there, he is offered support into Tunis, which he does not take. And this is actually the season which he wins. You see he moves into Romania, stabs Russia down here as well. And so 1911 was the last year Austria took it with an 18-center win. So surprisingly enough, Austria has almost exactly what I hoped to have at the end of this game. He has Brest, Paris, and Munich, whereas I had planned on Tunis, Sevastopol, and Ankara. But other than that, he has 15 of the 18 centers I wanted. So good win to him. I was glad to survive, I suppose. If you have any questions or comments or want to commiserate with me about how hard Italy is to play, feel free to do that, and thanks for watching.